the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast, powered by Matchday Live for our Christmas special. It's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Chrysler.
Christmas.
What on earth was that? I'm Joel Osborne. Very pleased to be joined by our very own Fat Jesus, Sam Hardy. Sam, how are you, sir?
It is the season for the reason.
Are you excited to celebrate your birthday next week?
I'm very excited. I can't remember. Is it Wednesday next week? Is that what day
Yeah, it's
Christmas
on Wednesday,
is?
yeah.
That's a week today, Jolie.
It's almost getting to the time of the year where we call it the Crimbo Limbo, and you forget what day of the week it is.
I thought you just meant you held out a hole and you tried to get under it
Well,
backwards.
that's a good idea as well, isn't there? Crimbo Limbo. It's always that period, isn't there, where you forget everyone's off work, you forget what day of the week it is. Is it a Monday? Is it a Tuesday? I can tell you Christmas falls on a Wednesday this year, and so does New Year's Day. Producer Dan's with us as always. Producer Dan, how are you, sir?
Ho, ho, and indeed ho. Welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome to you too. We were talking off air about last week. We're going to bring some eggnog. We didn't bring any in.
Oh.
Turns out you can't just go and buy eggnog. You've got to go and make it yourself.
Yeah.
Did you research that?
I looked it up, yeah. I don't think anywhere just sells bottles of eggnog. I actually had to put the effort in, so I thought, oh, no.
Nah, not doing effort.
We're not worth that,
It's
are we?
Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
You put the effort in, Sam. You're wearing a Santa hat right now.
I just thought, do you know what it is? It's Christmas, and I wanted to wear a nice little hat, Jolie.
Yeah. Well, it's also snowing here in the studio. We got some snow on the screens. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it in all its glory. We are just 12 hours removed, Sam, from the Bristol Sport Christmas party.
Yeah, we are. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was really good. You also came to the party, and you don't even work here anymore.
I do. I work with the Flyers, Joel.
Yeah, well, of course, it was great to have you with us, and great to be to catch up with you again in a non-working environment.
A couple of vinos. I actually didn't. It wasn't like the sort of normal Christmas parties that have previous, was it, Jolie?
No, well, hundreds of people descended on the Avon Gorge Hotel. I feel like last night it was quite tame.
It was lovely.
We were very well behaved. I think largely because between you and I on the table, obviously HR did the table seating plan. Sam and I are sat on the same table for this lovely 3-course meal. Right in the middle of us is Bristol Flyers CEO Lisa Knights.
Yes, making sure we behave ourselves.
And we did behave ourselves, so congratulations to HR. But overall, a really great night. Dan, what are your Christmas plans looking like this year?
Well, this year, for the first time, I'm going to be hosting. It's a home game on Christmas Day, folks.
What are you cooking?
Well, me.
What is
You're cooking? You're on the menu?
No.
What are you cooking?
Yeah, Dan.
Me. I am the main course.
No, my good lady is cooking Christmas dinner.
Okay,
for
but
us all.
what's on the menu?
Well, I think she's doing sort of like a small bird wrapped in bacon.
A small bird
I don't think
wrapped
it's turkey.
in bacon.
I can't remember the name of the bird. I don't think it's turkey.
Is it a turkey crown?
Possibly. Possibly.
Well, we're going to go to Yeovil for a few days where the family is. We're going to spend it with my parents and a few days with Helen's parents. And then we're going to see all sorts. It's just Christmas, mate.
Lovely.
Come back here. Go to the Ali Pally for the darts on the 27th.
Oh, I thought you were coming to Flyers with us on the
I know,
27th.
it's all changed.
Oh,
know.
you pied off the Flyers for the darts.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be awesome, though.
Yeah, it will be awesome.
World
to be fair.
Championship, so yeah, it should be good.
I've got Christmas Eve with the girlfriend and Christmas Day with the family.
If
you're asking.
I wasn't asking.
Didn't
don't care.
ask,
No,
mate.
didn't ask, don't care.
Coming up on this week's show, because obviously everyone is away in Norway right now.
No way.
No, they are. They are away in Norway. Because they are away in Norway right now. But because everyone bar us are in Norway right now for our ENBL game against Filing and Lions, we thought we'd put together, and by we, I say we thought producer Dan would put together a lovely Christmas quiz, all based about Bristol Flyers that you and I, Sam, can go head-to-head in.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this, and it's going to be really exciting. Then I thought, I actually don't know as much about it as you do. You're going to kick my behind, I think.
Well, producer Dan is usually pretty good with the knowledge on this. He's pretty good at making questions that, like, people that have great knowledge on the specialist subject can't even get. Is that right, Dan?
There's some tough ones in there. There's also some in there that will require just guesswork, Sam. So a few questions in there might just be closest to
The pin.
a certain
Closest
number.
to the pin.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. So.
Are there any subjective answers in there?
Well, there's bound to be questions where you dispute the answer. Absolutely.
There
I
we
know
go.
that's going to happen.
Great.
So
we thought it'd be great to put together this festive Christmas quiz for our Flyers family. And if you're listening at home or you are watching on YouTube, maybe you're wrapping some presents before the big day, maybe you're flying home from a ski trip, you can join in with the Christmas quiz. You listen, think of your answers, and yeah, you'll hear us rattle through them, and hopefully I will be the winner.
What? Is there a prize?
Pride. There's pride.
Oh, I don't want pride. I'm proud enough.
But before we do get underway with our Christmas festive Bristol Flyers quiz, I thought it'd be good for us to get in the Christmas spirit, because I picked up some Christmas crackers.
Yes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Merry Christmas.
Want to hear my joke, Jolie?
Always want to hear your joke, mate.
What type of room has no windows or doors?
Go on.
A mushroom.
Brilliant. Well, there we go. We are now in the Christmas spirit, and it's time for us to get underway. So without further ado, welcome to the Big Fat Bristol Flyers Christmas Quiz. That's right, so our final podcast episode of 2024. Producer Dan has put together an interactive Bristol Flyers quiz that you, the listeners, can play along with. We want you to get involved. Tweet us your scores. So to explain the rules and how the quiz is going to work, it's time to hand you over to our Master of Ceremonies, Producer Dan.
thank you very much. Yes, it's going to be 5 rounds of 3 questions, all on different subjects surrounding the Flyers. I will go through them as we go. But yeah, some of these will be, as we mentioned earlier, ones that you can guess along at home. Other ones can be really tricky, and we're going to do closest to.
Ooh.
The answer is the point goes to the person who's closest, I think, on some of these.
Knowing you, Dan, you're a sneaky boy. You're going to try and catch us out.
Maybe. But to be honest, we're making it up as we go along. So let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's all a bit of fun here. It is Christmas after all.
And the first round is all about Bristol Flyers players. Thank you very much.
I like it, mate. Good job on that soundboard.
A lot of these questions surround the year 2024, as it is our final pod of said year.
Yes.
And our first question is...
Oh, hang on. We have whiteboards. Look at the whiteboards.
Oh, yeah, I
Under the
put-
desk, we have whiteboards. Producer Dan was supposed to tell us that, but he
Sorry,
didn't.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you've got whiteboards under your desk there to write your answers on and show us what you've written down. And without further ado, question number 1. Which Bristol Flyers player has the most wins in 2024?
Well, current player or any player?
Any player in 2024 has the
In
most wins
2024?
this year. In the calendar year, who's won the most games in the Bristol Flyers squad? Good luck at home.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready, Sam?
This is a rogue answer, but we'll see.
Okay. Joel, what have you got, please?
I went for Keedy Johnson.
Keedy Johnson. Okay. Sam?
I've gone with if they were on the score sheet rather than you didn't say that, but I reckon if they were on the score sheet, then they were part of it. And I reckon Keedy was injured for a bit, so we've gone with Pasquale Landolfi, who would have been named
Pasquale
on the
Landolfi.
bench every time. I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I
cool.
can tell you, you're both wrong.
Who was it?
C4, Corey Samuels.
That was one of my other options.
18 wins this year for Corey Samuels.
Yeah,
Good question.
Keedy would have been injured. You're right.
Yes. So 0-0 after the first question.
Great job, everyone.
Annoying.
Some better luck perhaps with question 2. Bit of a funky one, this one. Which Bristol Flyers player is as tall as Will Ferrell from basketball film Semi-Pro?
On the squad this season.
Played in the squad in 2024.
So it's all just 2024.
All 2024.
This is
The round
sneaky.
the round is called 2024. So it's
Bristol
probably...
Flyers players in the calendar
2024.
year.
Is there multiple answers to this question, or is it just one player?
Just
same
one person.
It's the same height as Will Ferrell.
Yes.
And how tall do you think Will Ferrell is? He's an elf.
I ain't
Quite
talking-
tall, I think.
Don't try and confer with me, Joel.
Okay,
Without.
right. I'll ask this locked in.
Okay, Sam, we'll start with you first because you locked in first. Who have you got?
Kendall.
Kendall.
And how tall do you think Kendall Lewis is?
The same height as Will Ferrell.
I've gone with Owen McCormack.
Owen McCormack. See, Will Ferrell maybe isn't as tall as you think, or this player is taller than you think. It's Keedy Johnson.
Oh!
Keedy Johnson is the same height as Will Ferrell.
I thought there were multiple players in 2014 that was 6'3". Though. Is this Keedy 6'3" or 6'4"?
I've looked up what the height of Will Ferrell is 1.91 m apparently, and that is the
see.
same height as Keedy Johnson.
Well, there we go. None of us have got
Tough,
we're 0
tough.
for 2 so far. Producer Dan's done a great quiz here.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I tell you
good.
what, question 3 now of round 1. I'm going to give it to the person who's closest here. double points if you get it spot on.
Okay.
So, how many US states have been represented by the Bristol Flyers this year? So in 2024, Sam,
States.
how many US states have taken to the court for the Bristol Flyers this year? 2 points if you get it spot on.
Okay,
1 point for the person who's
John
closest.
knows because he's flipping.
I've just.
There's a smile there, isn't there?
But
Go on then, Joel, you're first.
when you say okay, I'm going 10.
10.
I reckon there's some from the same state.
Yes, then do I.
8.
8. One of you is getting double points in this round.
It's Joel, isn't it? Of course it is.
It's Sam!
Yes!
8 states have been represented, and I can tell you they are.
Triple points if I name the states.
No.
Okay.
The states are Tennessee, Texas, California, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio.
Yeah.
You're the only 10 I see, Dan.
Hey.
I see.
Extra point for... No, I'm kidding. Right, you ready for round 2?
All right, so that is round 1, and the scores after round 1 are Sam with 2 and me with 0. Is that right?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
2-0 to Sam.
Let's go round 2. Producer Dan.
Okay, round 2 is on the Flyers podcast.
Ooh, okay.
I don't listen to the Flyers podcast, Dan.
Okay, there is a clue to this one if we need it. But question 1 of round 2. Who was the first guest on the Bristol Flyers podcast for 2024?
Ooh.
You can use the clue if we need.
No. No clue.
No clue. No clue.
Okay,
Who was
okay.
the first guest in 2024?
First guest of 2024.
I'm just trying to flash back to last year's Christmas special and then who we did after that. And I want to say, I know who did the Christmas
I know who did the
special,
Christmas special too.
and then we did a New Year's thing, and then I want to say,
This person.
yeah, I'm going with Corey Samuels.
Corey Samuels. Sam?
I've gone with the CEO himself, Leslie Smith.
Oh,
Nice.
I think it could be as well.
Well, yet again, you're both wrong. The podcast wasn't the only thing returning after Christmas. It was Levi Bradley.
Oh, of course it was
Of course
Levi
it
Bradley.
was.
Wow.
Levi Bradley.
Wow,
Okay.
I'll get a point one day, folks. If you score more than one, you're better than me. Go on, next
Okay.
question, Dan.
Next question is an audio question.
Ooh.
Okay, so which guest, it appears, has just figured out the end to the Avengers movie?
It was one of those endings where they were the superheroes, I guess.
Just figured it out. I think you've both surely got the answer here.
Straight in.
Would you like it again?
No, you're good.
One time?
I'll do it once for the listener.
Once for the listener. Who is this? Who has just figured out the end to the Avengers movie?
It was one of those endings where they were the superheroes, I guess.
Okay.
I've gone with RGB.
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 RG.
You've gone Row.
Row, yep.
Give you the point for that one.
It's Roel Graham Bell.
Yes.
Another one now where, again, double points on offer if you get the answer spot on. Struggling to speak there. But the closest to gets a point.
Let's do
so,
it.
how many guests have we physically had in the studio with us?
Since the
This
new
year,
era of the...
this year,
so it's all this year.
2024.
How many have we had in the studio with us? Are we allowed to know how many episodes we've done?
No, you can do the maths on that.
Joel, do you want to go first?
I'd like to say 24, please.
24. Okay. Sam?
I've gone with 18.
18.
I think I'm
Neither
wrong.
of you have got it spot on, but the point goes to Joel.
Yes!
What was it?
The answer is 22.
Oh.
So not far off at all.
Oh.
I was one out from drawing with you.
One out. So at the end of round 2, it means Joel is on 2, but Sam is on 3.
This is going to go down to the wire, mate,
Ooh, blimey. Okay, so now we
Bring
move on
it.
to round 3, which is the 20 years of the Flyers round. So a bit of history lesson going on here.
Histoire.
Now, this next question is worth 5 points.
Gosh.
Because
Oh my goodness.
potentially, a point for each. Because if you can tell me the top 5 point scorers in the Flyers' first BBL game back on September 27th, 2014 against Plymouth, I'll give you a point for each player. So top 5 point scorers in the very first Flyers BBL game back in 2014. It was a win.
It was a win. Okay, we're specific.
Fair play if you get all 5 of these, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Of course. Quick, Sam.
It's probably about 5 players who I knew were around at that point.
All right. Hang on. Bit of ASMR for the listener there with a squeaky pen for Joel.
Right,
Shall I go first?
Go on, Sam.
Okay, I've gone Greg Street,
Okay.
Roy Owen, Doug McLaughlin-Williams, Tyrone Treasure, and Davis.
Okay. Joel.
Okay, I have gone Doug Herring, Greg Street, Doug McLaughlin-Williams, Alif Bland, and Dwayne Lautier-Ogunleye.
Dwayne wasn't even here at that point.
First season.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
2014-15.
First game back, though. Did he play?
First game. Yeah, is what I want to say.
So, Sam, unfortunately, 0 points for you there, my friend.
Oh!
But Joel has 3 out of 5. Correct.
Who was it?
So, the 5 were Dean Williams,
Oh, D. Williams!
I thought I knew he was there, but I didn't think. Yeah. Anyway.
Alif Bland,
Yeah.
Doug Herring Jr., D'Lo, and Matthias Sayland.
Oh, Matthias Silent.
Matthias Sayland.
You know that
Apologies,
one, Sam.
Apologies.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. Who has the most single-season points in Bristol Flyers league history? So in a single season, who has scored the most points for the Bristol Flyers? It's a big number as well, by the way.
And then does that count, like, if we're doing European competition, if we're doing the cups, the trophies, all of it?
This was
Just points in a single season.
points
not
in a
all time.
single season.
But just the league games?
Just league games,
Okay,
correct.
That's interesting.
Just league games.
Hang on.
Sam's still...
You can't Google, mate.
Mine's going to be a bit weird as well. Because
Okay.
I'm thinking consistency.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is right, but I'm just going to go with it. Okay.
I should have written the season down here, but
Oh, then I've got it wrong then if that's the case.
the number is 566 points.
Oh my gosh.
Joel, who have you gone for?
Hamid Ali.
Hamid Ali. Sam?
I went for consistency king, double machine, Brad Green.
Oh. Neither of you are right. I think it was 2019. Fred Thomas.
Oh, Fred Thomas.
Freddie Thomas.
Fred Thomas.
What, the 2019-20 season?
It's either 2018-19 or 19-20.
Who was second?
1920 was cut short.
No,
because
no,
of
not that
Corona.
one. Not that one. I
One
think
before.
it was 2018-19.
Fred Thomas's first season.
Final question of round 3
Go on, let's hit it.
comes to us from another special guest.
Here we go.
Hello everyone, Gareth Till here. So my question is, in the 2005-2006 season when we were competing as Filton Flyers and we won the Division 3 Championship, we also played in the final of the playoffs, which we won 74-72. Now my question is, who did we beat in the final?
This is before my time.
What year was that? 2005? I was 14 years old.
2005, 2006.
I was 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, I asked Gareth because I knew he'd know about the very beginning of the Flyers' history.
Who else would have been in Division 3 at the time? Let me write down that answer.
I've already done. I'm done. I'm the winner.
I honestly
you're kicking my
don't know
bum.
where to start here.
Dan, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
My guess, and I wonder if they were in a high division now, but let's just, go with it, is Solent Kestrels.
Ooh.
Solent Kestrels.
Okay, I've said Reading Rockets.
Reading Rockets.
But I don't think that's correct.
Gareth, will you reveal all,
Sheffield.
please?
And the answer is the Sheffield Sabres.
Sheffield! How would you have guessed Sabres as well, by the
And
way?
I wouldn't have even told you that's what they were called back then.
There you go.
Sheffield. I said Sheffield.
Do you know what? I'm going to call it out right now, Gareth Till. That's a terrible question, okay?
No, that is a great question.
And it shows your age, Tilly, all right? That's what I'm saying.
On that note, is that the end of
That's the end
the
of round 3. Now, Joel, you've done very well there.
Stormed
You've taken
ahead.
a 2-point lead. It's Joel 5, Sam 3.
Up by 2, mate. Up by 2.
I made no...
Like Georgie Dawes.
like Jersey Shores.
Here we go.
Okay, round 4 is on the ENBL.
Oh, Ian Beale!
Exactly. First question. How many countries have the Bristol Flyers visited in the ENBL in their whole time playing in that competition?
This is our third year in our second year in it.
This is us.
Second year.
Well, you can't say that. That's a hint. So last year, we were
In our entire history of playing in the ENBL, short history so far, but how many countries have the Bristol Flyers visited?
countries. Oh, countries.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
Because they are technically there right now.
Yeah,
Does this one count?
I am counting this one.
My pen's running out, but hopefully you can see this. I'm ready.
We can supply other pens.
I think it's between us. I just saw what you did, as in I saw the shape you were doing, and I think it's between us.
I said 8.
8.
And I've gone 6.
It's 7.
No,
I told you. I said.
Go on, read about Dan.
This is the thing. I wrote this in a rush, and I haven't written down the countries, but we can do this together.
So last year we had started off the season away in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
We beat Pleven.
Yeah.
Then we went. This is a good.
Was
test
this then
of my
the trip we
knowledge.
went to Poland?
Yeah, that's
we
the same
went
season.
to.
I think we went to Poland next. Did we go to Poland next, Dan? After that?
So it was Bulgaria, then Poland.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
the third team we went to was in the new year,
Correct.
and it was.
They're little rabbits.
Oh yeah, Svenborg Rabbits.
Well, you're missing one in the middle there. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
Tartu.
Oh,
Tartu, which
Tartu.
is
So
in Estonia.
So that's the 3.
and then Svenborg.
and then Svenborg.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's 4.
And that was all the 4 from last season.
Then we went to Cholet in the playoffs.
And
So
then
I thought we went 4 away games last year.
So we had 5 away games last year. Yeah.
5. Yep.
Cholet.
Now this year we have played.
You're wrong here. Oh no,
Bakken.
you're not
We
wrong.
have played Bakken away, which is also Denmark.
So we've already done Denmark,
Boop.
so you can
So-
take that off.
Yeah. We and then have also played away against Brno,
Brno.
Czechia. That is right.
Czechia
And now they're in
Now they're in
Norway.
Norway.
Right now.
Norway.
So that is 7.
7 teams. 7
That is a great question, and that has probably tripped up a lot of Flyers fans,
Well, that's what
including
we're thinking.
myself.
Double Denmark's, innit? Double Denmark.
Double Denmark! Double Denmark!
God.
Oh, blimey. Right, next question, please, Dan.
Okay, next question is another audio question. What language from one of our ENBL opponents is this? An extra point if you can tell us what she is saying.
Dobrý deň. Počúvate Joela a sama v podcaste Bristol Flyers.
Do again.
Dobrý deň. Počúvate Joela a sama v podcaste Bristol Flyers.
And this is an opponent from any...
This is an opponent that we've played in the ENBL. What language is that? And what is she saying for an extra point? If you do know, fair play. The key really is to think who we've played in the ENBL. Work backwards.
Okay, I've written what they're saying.
Did you? Is it just something random you've put through Google Translate, Dan?
Yep.
Okay, fine.
I think it is Lithuanian, and I think they're saying, hello, you're listening to the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Almost. Sam.
I've gone Lithuanian.
Oh.
And I've gone, I am a big fan of the Bristol Flyers podcast.
You're both close. It's Slovakian.
Oh!
That's when we played into Bratislava. And what she's saying is, hello, you're listening to Joel and Sam on the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Just play again. Can you hear Joel and Sam in there?
Well, it's in there.
Play it one more time.
Dobrý deň. Počúvate Joela a sama v podcaste...
Joella and Sam.
Joella and Sama.
Yeah, fair.
It's in there. It's
This
in there.
is Joella
Do you know
and
what?
Sama.
Not bad.
That was good.
That's close. You're very close. I can't give you the point, but there you go.
No, that's fine.
The final question in this round.
Ooh.
Who scored our first points in the ENBL this season?
This season.
Oh.
Was it a home game? No, it wasn't. I don't know.
We were away at Bakken Bears, I can tell you.
Yeah.
You done, Jolly?
Yeah.
Okay, shall I go first?
Yeah,
Go for it.
It is Demond Robinson.
Are you like very confident of that?
No, are you?
I said Trey Tennyson.
Oh, well. You're both wrong again.
was
It's
it?
Jared Sherfield.
Yeah.
What was it? A free throw?
It was 3, I
It
think.
was a 3-pointer.
I think so.
Oh wow.
I have to look up that again. Joel, in the edit, you can put Dan was wrong.
I'll
here.
just put the clip of his first basket on right now.
Here's Kendall Lewis. Skips it across to Sherfield. He's wide open for 3, and he knocks it down.
And that was the first basket of Bristol Flyers in the European North Basketball League this season.
Brilliant. There we go. So at the end of round 4, no change.
5-3.
5-3.
I'm
Well
on
done.
top by 2 going into the 4th, Sam.
Final
Crunch time.
round. And that is on the championship. As in, it's SLB and name redacted.
Oh, I was in the BBL.
Any league games of 2024.
Okay.
Right.
Name redacted.
First question of round 5. What was Bristol Flyers' biggest home victory in 2024?
Number of points or
Correct. Difference. Points difference.
points difference?
Yeah. Biggest home victory in 2024. You were both there.
Bonus points if you get the team?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. Well, I'm looking.
No, I don't know if this is a league game or
When
a
you say
cup.
the team, the point is who is the biggest home victory is what's the game? Tell me the game that.
Bonus points if you get the margin?
Oh, I put the margin down.
Well, if you can.
I didn't put the team down. I just put the margin
In my
down.
head, it was going to be the team that we beat.
Okay.
That's the biggest home victory was when we beat.
Okay, so
insane.
if
Give me a sec then.
I've written the number of points we've won by, do I get a bonus point?
I'll give you a point for that.
Okay, right. It's 2 points up for grabs, Sam.
Hang on,
Point
hang
is
on,
the
hang on.
team we're playing and the points difference. Okay, Joel, who do you think?
So I think the margin of victory was 36 points.
Who have you gone with?
I think the opponent was the Leicester Riders.
Okay.
And
Sam?
Yeah,
I
Yep,
think
sure.
it was 41 points, and I think it was MG.
Ooh, Manchester Giants.
Okay. So, 1 point goes to Joel.
Oh,
It
36.
was Leicester.
it
Oh,
was
it's
Leicester.
Leicester.
What was it, 32?
37
37!
points.
Oh.
It's the same game! I had
That
the game.
is-
That is the game.
That is amazing. This is not fair because he writes all the stats down and stuff, Dan. Why do you want him to win? What is he paying you?
There's no bias here.
Oh, there is bias.
It's all up
There's
in the
always
brain,
bias.
mate. It's all up in the brain.
One of our penultimate questions. How many? This is hopefully an easy one you can work out at home. How many SLB logos have a creature in them?
You literally do all of the artwork as well.
Come on,
Have a creature in
Sam.
them.
A creature.
And this could be a mythical creature, right?
Could be. Could be.
Okay. I am missing a team in my list of teams, which is really embarrassing. Who is it?
How many SLB logos have a creature in them?
Got the answer, and I can tell you exactly who they are as well.
Nice.
I'm saying 4, and that is Cheshire, Newcastle, Sheffield, and Leicester.
Yeah, and I got it right too. 4.
It is 4.
The answer's
Yes. Okay, final question.
Oh my goodness.
Sam is 3 behind. I will give 3 points for if you get this one right. But if you get it right, I'll be
Perfectly
amazed.
right. Okay, fine.
So, if you were to lay every Bristol Flyers player in 2024 from head to toe, how many basketballs in length would they be?
Oh, wow.
And if we don't get it correct, is it closest gets
It's
1 point?
closest to, gets 1 point.
How many basketballs?
How many basketballs? So we've laid every single player that played in 2024. We've laid them all out head to toe, and we've put basketballs next to them. How many basketballs do we need? If you're trying to do this at home, you're doing what I'm doing earlier, which is just putting basketballs, imaginary basketballs, next to yourself and counting how many basketballs tall I am. I'm going to start with Joel, I think, so that we get the glorious moment at the end of when Sam gets this spot on.
Okay, well, can you tell you what we can do? Can you I won't touch it, but can you give us the answer? Then I show my thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Go on then.
The answer, I believe, number of basketballs in length is 261.
261.
What is the answer, Dan?
Answer is 173 basketballs. Sam, how close were you?
I was 71 basketballs away, and Joel. Oh, I was closer though. No, yeah, it was.
You only get 3 points for getting the correct
Yeah, but I
answer.
get 1
You
point.
get 1 point. Well done, Sam. You do get the point for that. However, your winner of the 2024 Big Fat Bristol Flyers Christmas quiz is Joel.
Ah, he topped the music.
Yeah, I mean, I was sick of that. It's more.
That's an air ball.
Brilliant.
Dan,
How
can I?
many points did I get, Dan?
You got 7 there, Joel.
Okay, listeners, if you beat 7, could you please, and be honest, come on, it's only a bit of fun here. Why don't you tweet us or send us a little message, little comment? That'd
Yeah.
be good, wouldn't it?
So I got 7. So if you did beat me with 7, congratulations. Merry Christmas. Let us know. Send us a tweet at Bristol Flyers, or you can reach out to us on any major social platform. Just Dan, thanks for putting together the quiz. That was fun.
You're very welcome. Very welcome.
I hope the listeners enjoyed that too. It's a little bit different here on the Bristol Flyers podcast. But without further ado, Sam, it's time for us to get to the news.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, time for us to talk about what's been happening over the last week or so. We're going to start by talking about the 2 games for Bristol Flyers that took place over the weekend. The first one, Flyers were in action on Friday night, SLB Cup against Essex Rebels.
Did you go to that one, Jolly?
No, I did not. The game was not streamed either.
No.
So we've not watched the game. However, we can talk you through what happened. I caught up with Jack, who went to the game from our media team after the game. They got stuck in traffic on the way to Essex. They were stuck in the bus for 6.5 hours.
Are you kidding me?
They arrived an hour before tip-off.
And did they still keep the same tip-off?
Yep. So they arrived, tip-off was at 7:30. There's loads of traffic, Mike was saying. So they arrived an hour before tip-off.
Did they get changed on the coach?
They were doing, Dom was taping the players on the bus.
I bet he was.
He was.
Which is, that makes sense, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you got to get it done, you know what I mean? But it did mean that the Flyers started off pretty slowly in this game. Bukarekwe got some minutes against his former club as well.
I saw that. All I was doing was watching on the stat sheet, and what it looked like is it looked like Essex were playing really well, shooting really well, but also looked like their starting 5 plus 1 more got pretty much all their minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, 44 points to 42 at the half. And then the third quarter, Flyers sort of started to find their legs. They didn't commit a turnover throughout the third quarter. Damon Robinson then became the go-to guy inside, and he got us over the line to push out to a double-digit lead. We took a 12-point lead into the fourth, leading 68-56. And Essex sort of kept on pace with the Flyers scoring, but Flyers were able to run out 14-point winners.
Yeah.
So it was a very strong performance for Bristol, very professional display in the first round of the SLB Cup. Got to run through leading scorers here for you. Damon Robinson had 22 points. Leslie Smith, Evan Walsh and Jared Sherfield all with 11 points. And then Kendall Lewis had 10 points and 9 rebounds. It means that the Flyers are through to the next round of the SLB Cup, where they will face either Newcastle Eagles or Caledonia Gladiators. And I can confirm the game will be at home.
Oh, cool.
So the date we're looking at, and this is going to be our next home game, the date we are looking at, we haven't announced this yet actually, or we might have announced it by the time this podcast comes out. The date we're looking at is Friday, January 10th, which is the day before we face Surrey 89ers at home as well. So it'll become a home doubleheader. Mm-hmm. The Surrey game is pretty much sold out. So if you want to get tickets for a game on that same weekend, we're starting from scratch for this game because it's not a season ticket holder game. So if you are a season ticket holder, reminder, your ticket is not valid for this game and you must buy, because it's a knockout game basically, and the season ticket only gives you regular season games. So if you are a season ticket holder, make sure you get tickets right now over at bristolflyers.co.uk. As I say, details for that game will be confirmed in the coming days if they aren't already right now. So if you're looking for that last minute Christmas gift, good idea to give someone the gift of Bristol Flyers tickets this holiday season. Quick roundup of the other results around the SLB Cup first round. We mentioned some of these lower league teams that entered. Some of the lower league teams got blown out quite heavily. Some of the lower league teams were really competitive. So in my best football, what is it, like final score voice? The Super League Basketball Cup. St Mirren 60, London Lions 113.
That was a close one.
Falkirk Fury 61, Leicester Riders 130. Another close game. Nottingham Hood 67, Cheshire Phoenix 108, Derby Trailblazers 88, Surrey 89ers 93, Reading Rockets 72, Sheffield Sharks 84.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, Hemel Storm are yet to face Manchester Basketball in the first round, so there could still be that upset that everyone's looking for on the cards.
But Nelson Henry used to play it.
He still does.
No, he used to play at Leicester.
Yes, but they're playing against Manchester Basketball.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's fine, cool. But Nelson Henry is in that game, isn't he?
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, you look at the teams that were in the first round of the SLB Cup. A lot of these teams had former BBL players.
Yeah.
So Joe Hart was playing for Essex against us.
Lewis Champion would have been for Reading.
Yep, Lewis Champion would have been for Reading. Obviously, Darian Nelson-Henry playing for Hemel. Ali Fraser and Johnny Bunyan playing for Falkirk. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of representations. So these are teams that can be competitive. They're probably just missing a couple of pieces, a bit of extra budget to really be up there and competing. But it's a promising sign for the Super League if they want to expand going forward, and they've got programs that doing really well, like Reading, like either Reading, Derby, or Nottingham, or Hemel could easily put together a bid to join SLB if they can find that funding. So it's really exciting to see, and hopefully we see some of these teams enter SLB sooner rather than later. The other game I've got to talk about for Flyers from the weekend is the game against Cheshire Phoenix. Obviously, after the game on Friday, Flyers then went up to Cheshire for an away game. They took on the Phoenix for the third time in a week. And having beaten them in the Super League Basketball Trophy semi-finals to punch their ticket to the final in January, Cheshire Phoenix actually came out on top in this game, 92 points to 86.
This was annoying, wasn't it?
It was an annoying game because I'll say it's always tough to beat a team 3 times, let alone beat a team 3 times in a week. You add to that the trouble that Cheshire are going through, having lost 2 of their key players we spoke about on last week's episode of the podcast. You add into the fact that they're annoyed at us for knocking them out of the SLB Trophy semi-finals. That is all the recipes for a team that is fired up for this game. They played very hard in this game. They were short-handed. They ran a very small rotation. And yeah, fair play to them. They did a great job. And we hung in there. We put up a great fight in this game. And you saw it in the first quarter, Jared Sherfield getting open threes. And you sort of think like he's going to pick up where he left off. And also, by the way, can I please talk about that Corey Samuels Hail Mary at the end of the first quarter?
Honestly, I was watching and I saw him do the dribble and I was like, oh, he's not going to get it off in time. And he threw it and I was like, overhead like that, probably won't even make it. And then it just swishes in and I was like, what the heck was that? It was incredible. Have you got a video of it or not?
Well, I can put it up on screen in the edit. Producer Dan, you must have watched this play, surely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know. In that sort of moment, does he just think, whatever?
Well, it's one of those ones, isn't it? So the clock's winding down, you got time for a heave, just get out there and see what happens.
The thing is, you say that, and yeah, you do just heave it, but like, because they practiced the half-court shots and whatever, you get an idea of the rough range to like get one up there, although that was from like free throw line extended,
it was his own free throw line. Yeah. It wasn't even a half-court shot. Yeah. He probably couldn't have done it again if he tried.
No, it was, I honestly was like, what the heck? Even if those ones like hit the rim and bounce out, you're all like, oh, that was close, but that was amazing.
That was great. And also, it was the cleanest swish as well. It wasn't like it bounced off the backboard and in or hit the back iron. It was like a splash.
Were you there for this one?
Yeah, I was there. So I was sat on the end of the bench doing socials for this game. And the mood after that shot was very, very high.
Well, I thought that was going to be a moment where we then sort of the gas was like on. It was in our favour. We sort of started pulling away. They started getting tired. Maybe a few got into foul trouble. That was what I was thinking at that point.
Yeah, well, it did give us a boost going into the second quarter because Owen McCormack comes in, Evan Walsh comes in. They stretched the lead early in the second. Cheshire's free throw shooting actually kept us in the game. They didn't shoot the ball very well from the foul line whatsoever in this game, and that was quite handy for us because it was a close game going into the fourth quarter. And then I can't remember the order of these plays that happened, but there was a Skylar White 3, there was a Therese Scott Grayson and 1, and then there was a breakaway block and a Skylar White dunk. But those 3 plays were huge down the stretch, and that eventually made them win the game. 92 points to 86 was the final score. You want to hear the scorers?
The scorers!
Here they are. Bristol Flyers were led by Keely Johnson and Jared Sherfield, who had 14 points apiece. Shortly behind was Damon Robinson, who had 13 points. Owen McCormack, 11 points, 7 assists off the bench. And Evan Walsh finished with 8. It means the Flyers fall to 2 and 3 in the SLB Championship. And our next championship game is on the 27th of December. Right, other news to get to. Flyers home and away jerseys. Now, we are recording this podcast just before Christmas. The deadline to get home delivery at bristolflyers.co.uk has now passed. However, if you want to get your jerseys, because the jerseys are now in stock. They came in stock this week. They're in stock over at the Bristol Flyers store right here at Ashton Gate. If you want to get your hands on the jerseys, you can head down to the Bristol Sports store to try them on, and you can buy them before the big day. Do make sure you look at the store's opening hours before you come on down, but do come down and collect your jerseys, or you can buy them in person before the big day. And that's it for this week's news.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
And that's also it for this year's podcast in 2024.
Boom.
That was a great episode. What did it sound? You enjoy that? The little Christmas quiz?
No, I hated every second of it. I thought the questions were biased. I thought the MC was awful, and I never want to take part ever again, okay?
Sounds like a sore loser to me.
What a Scrooge, eh?
Yeah, what a Scrooge. It's Christmas. Lighten up.
Okay, thank you. You're right. What a great quiz. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
And just to give the listeners a rundown of what's going to happen over Christmas for the Bristol Flyers podcast, we are going to take a 2-week break for the Flyers podcast because next Wednesday is Christmas Day. The following Wednesday is New Year's Day. So we will all be back in the new year for more Bristol Flyers podcast shenanigans. And we have to talk about plans for our upcoming... We've got 3 big episodes coming up for you on the Flyers podcast. One of them is our trip to the SLB Trophy Final. One of them is our trip to Estonia. And one of them is the big 100th episode of the Bristol Flyers podcast. So we've got some great pods coming for you in the new year. If you do enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on all major podcast providers, give us a rating and a review. And please do share it with a friend as well. If you've got a friend that's new to Flyers basketball and they want to get involved, they want to learn more about our club, our team, learn more about basketball, show them the Bristol Flyers podcast. And hopefully we help supporters learn a bit more about the game whilst also having fun. And that's going to do it for this year's edition of the Bristol Flyers podcast. Sam, anything else you want to add?
No, just a big Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all of our fans, our supporters, our listeners. Enjoy time with your loved ones. If you're going away, enjoy it. Be safe. Be merry. Producer Dan, thank you for pushing the buttons this whole year for us on the Bristol Flyers podcast. We'll see you in the new year. And as we say, that's going to do it for this year's edition of the Bristol Flyers podcast, powered by Matchday Live.